Hello YouTube vintage stereo collectors and restorers. This is kind of a mini Harman-Kardon, early 70s. It's a 230A. And as you can see, it is not a big chassis. What the back looks like. You do have inputs for magnetic, ceramic, phono, and auxiliary tape loop. These were kind of like, there's several versions of them. And I've owned them all. All their stuff sounds so good in this era, and it looks so cool sitting on the shelf. But even this entry-level one has really good sound. Now, I tried it with headphones. The person I bought this from said, I'm not 100% sure what's wrong with it. It seems to have no power. I kind of have an idea what is wrong with it, but I'll show you a little demo first. So I have a couple realistic Minima 7s just off to the side. And if you look at what's in this for circuitry, the preamp and driver's all in here. And it has an FM stereo tuning section that looks like it's out of a pocket radio. Not a lot of circuits, but it actually, this thing is amazing, the stations it picks up. Let's turn it on first. I don't want to leave it on one song too long because I'll get a strike. This is getting stations 8 out of 10 with no antenna on it. And it's just not sounding great. It only sounds good at a very low volume. Sounds okay with headphones until you push it, but it's absolutely gutless. Actually, having owned a few of these before, they actually sound better than you think. It should actually be moving those speakers, no problem. Here's what I figured out, just looking. When I first tried it, I'm like, put my meter on here, check for center voltage. On the outputs, yeah, I have center voltage. So it's about 36 on this one, 18 on that one, quasi-complementary. Okay, what's going on? Let's check for bias. I noticed this insulation had been peeled back here. Checking for bias, zero bias. Looked at which are the bias controls. Cranked it up. No bias. They are not turning on is what's actually happening. And you can kind of tell as you turn the sound up, it's only the pre-driver transistors, which are on the end of this board, that are running the speakers. That's why. So this has the 0 volt point of this single rail power supply is hooked up to this pair and to that pair. So it's a class A B1. These come on first, class A, then those turn on at a point. And the point is around where you hear it breaking up when I turned it up. These are not turning on. And I looked for a while and I was like, oh, what kind of transistor is that? And I looked up the number. I'm going, why is the emitter resistor hooked up to the base connection? And why is the base wire, this blue one, the base feed, and I mean base as in B-A-S-E, not a fish, it's hooked up to the emitter. And then I realized these are hooked up backwards. The center is collector, but base and emitter are turned around. And for whatever reason, like tip 31s, other transistors in this family are B, C, E. These are E, B, C, or sorry, E, C, B. So emitter, collector, base. Whereas these are, yeah, these emitter, collector, base, and others are base, collector, emitter. So for whatever reason they got hooked up that way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to unsolder where I have to and turn around. It has nice hardware. It has the greaseless silicon insulators, new hardware on here. The back covers the heatsink. The later 230As and 230Bs have an actual heatsink back there. but I've never felt one even get warm. I had one of these and I drove it fairly hard. It was in my main system for a while, mainly because the FM was just so good on it. It has crystal clear FM with lots of reception. Like picks up anything. I'm just going to show you, tip it up here so you can kind of see. You'll never pay much for one of these, but it actually has some pretty good features on it. It actually, like I say, is quasi-complementary. It does not have a power supply any bigger than a Kenwood KA2000 or Sansui 222. Pretty small power supply, but it has lots of filtering. And this tuner, it has, I'm not kidding, a third of the components of a Sony or a Kenwood of the same era. No integrated circuits, just transistors. No germanium transistors. This is the multiplex board right here. It looks pretty average. And it has, you can run 2 speakers. You can run to fairly low impedance on these too, because it's capacitor coupled. And it's like there's not a lot. You tip this board back to work on it. I see it's got some new caps in it. And the neatest thing, oh, I forgot to show you this. Bring it around. Show you what I mean here. So there's only one of the 3 bulbs here. So when you're in FM, you tune on this side. AM, you tune on this side. There should be a stereo bulb here. It's burned out. You can put an LED in there. I've done a video on how to do that. So 2 of the bulbs, I believe they're number 47 and number 43s, they are soldered in. So it's a bayonet bulb, but it's soldered in. The rest of the bayonet bulbs are in sockets. So anyway, it has kind of a cool look to it. Anyway, what I'll do is I'm going to do a little work on this, and we'll do a second video on it, tell you about what I did. Thanks for watching and listening.